What's up guys, it's your boy Leg, and today we are off out at Titchfield Abbey. Now, I won't babble on too much, but make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and let's get into today's awesome adventure. This is Titchfield Abbey. It is located in Hampshire and was built in the 13th century. It was home to a community of Premonstratensian canons, and it lies in the valley of the River Meon. In 1537, after the suppression of the monasteries, the abbey was transformed into a grand mansion which was called Place House. Now let's take you inside for a quick look around this large ancient ruin. Look at this massive door, guys. The Abbey of St Mary and St John was founded back in 1231 by the Bishop of Winchester for the Premonstratensian canons, an order founded in France also known as the White Canons. Canons lived a communal life under the monastic vows, but were also involved in the wider community, preaching and teaching the gospel. Out of the 14 to 15 canons what were based here, 2 of which served as vicars for the nearby parish churches. The abbey itself owned many thousands of acres of land, and it had its own farm buildings along with a series of many large luxurious fish ponds. Titchfield Abbey was also used as a brilliant stopping off place for journeys to the continent, and Henry V stayed there before departing on a campaign in France. At the suppression of the monasteries, the abbey was granted in 1537 to the 1st Earl of Southampton, who was a loyal civil servant to the King Henry VIII. The Earl played a key part in the suppression and was given monastic lands as a reward. The Earl's new domain was 11 manors and 5,000 acres surrounding Titchfield Abbey. He proceeded to transform the main abbey buildings into what's known as Place House and a residence fit for a rising courtier. Got like a little hatch here hidden in the wall. Now what do you guys think this might have been used for? Look at this. There's a little hatch in there.
Get out of here!
As we made our way round this ruin, we couldn't help but notice all the wild flowers that were growing out of the walls here. These wild flowers are known as Cymboleria Borealis. However, this wild flower also has many other names and more common names such as Colosseum ivy, Oxford ivy and the wandering sailor. This is because of this wild flower was introduced to England by accident when a shipment of sculptures was brought to Oxford back in the 17th century. These medieval tiles were preserved for over 400 years, and they were rediscovered during excavations in 1923. Latin inscriptions on these tiles are believed to say, "Before you sit down to meat at your table, first remember the poor." There are 3 main patterns on these tiles, which we will show you their meanings towards the end of the video. Look at this, guys, we've just come across this old well here. It's believed that the abbey was visited by many royal guests such as Edward VI, Elizabeth I, Charles I and his queen Henrietta Maria. The Earl of Southampton's grandson Henry III was a patron of William Shakespeare, and it's also believed that William Shakespeare performed some of his plays at the property for the first time. On the death of the 4th Earl of Southampton, Titchfield passed through several families until 1781, when most of the building ended up being demolished for the building stone.
In the early 20th century, archaeological excavations helped to clarify the layout of the monastic buildings here. Now let's show you some of the meanings behind some of these ancient tiles. It is believed that the towers on this tile represent Eleanor Castile, the wife of Edward I from 1241. Now as we take a look inside what's left of this large tower, you will notice these funny slits on the walls. These slits are what's known as arrow slits and were used by archers to fire their arrows out over the landscape. Now let's take a look at this tile of the double-headed eagle. It's believed that it is the arms of Richard, the Earl of Cornwall, who was Henry III's brother.
Right guys, that's about it from today's explore at Titchfield Abbey. Make sure if you haven't already, you hit that subscribe button. And I'm Leg, and I'll catch you guys on our next awesome adventure. Bye guys.